Hi, my name is Austin Bass. I'm doing my project on Leonardo da Vinci. I'm going to be discussing Da Vinci's life and achievements and how he impacted our culture. Leonardo da Vinci is one of the greatest and most ingenious men that history has ever produced. His contributions to the areas of art, science, and humanities have deeply impacted society even today. Da Vinci was born on April 15th, 1452, an illegitimate child to Caterina, a peasant girl, and Sciarra, who was a public notary for the city of Florence, Italy. For the first 4 years of his life he lived with his mother in the small town village of Vinci, which is just outside of Florence. Leonardo's potential as an artist was noticed early on, and his father took Da Vinci to live with him and his wife in Florence. This was the start of his education and quest for knowledge. At an early age, Leonardo became interested in the subjects such as botany, geology, animals, the motion of water, and shadows. The painting to the left is young Da Vinci. At age 17, Leonardo was apprenticed as a studio boy for Andrea del Verrocchio, a proficient painter of his day. In Verrocchio's workshop, Leonardo was introduced to many techniques, from painting altarpieces and forming columns to the creation of large sculpture projects in marble and bronze. The painting to the right is a collaboration painting with Leonardo and Verrocchio on his The Baptism of Christ. Leonardo was painting the young angel holding Jesus' robe in a manner that was so far superior to his master's that Verrocchio put down his brush and never painted again. On close examination, the painting reveals much that has been painted or touched up over the tempera using the new technique of oil paint. With the landscape, the rocks can be seen through the brown mountain stream, and much of the figure of Jesus bearing witness to the hand of Leonardo. In 1472, he was accepted into the Painters' Guild of Florence, and worked there for about 6 years, and in 1478 Leonardo earned the title of Independent Master. The painting to the top left is his first painting, the Adoration of the Magi. It started but was left unfinished. Now Leonardo expanded his skills to other branches of interest, and in 1481 he wrote a letter to the Duke of Milan. In the letter he stated that he knew how to build many objects, including portable bridges, cannons, and ships, as well as armored vehicles, catapults, and other war machines. Because of this, Leonardo entered the service of the Duke in 1482. His tasks were working on the castle and organizing festivals. His work also led him to become recognized as an expert in the military engineering and arms. As a sculptor, he created a huge monument to the Duke's father mounting upon a leaping horse. The horse, as it was known, was a combination of 16 years of work. While in Milan, Leonardo created his own work and studies with the help of the apprentices and pupils. His most important painting that he created during the early Milan age was the Virgin of the Rocks. This is one of his early paintings that survived in complete form. The Virgin of the Rocks is the painting in the top middle. This is one of the two paintings done by Da Vinci which are almost completely identical except for several details such as the angel's arm placement and her view. The painting showed was done between the year of 1495 and 1508, and it now hangs in the National Gallery in London. From 1495 to 1497, Leonardo labored on his masterpiece The Last Supper, which is on the bottom left. It depicts the last meal shared by Jesus and his disciples before his capture and death. It shows the specific moment that Jesus said to them, "One of you will betray me." And in 1503, Leonardo was commissioned to work to design a decoration for the Great Hall of the Palazzo Vecchio. While he was working on the palazzo, he also painted several other works, including the most famous portrait he ever created was the Mona Lisa, as you can see her on the top right. The Mona Lisa became famous because of the unique expression on her face. She appears to have just started or to have just finished smiling. This painting was one of Leonardo's favorites, and he had carried her with him on many of his travels. One of Leonardo's most interesting works is the St. Jerome in the Wilderness, which is the one on the bottom right. The painting was never finished, and it is still very sketchy. This painting does not depict the classic shadow style that Da Vinci is known for. Now, Leonardo did not stay in Milan for long because his father died in 1504, and in 1507 he was back in Florence trying to sort out problems with his brothers over his father's estate. In September 1513 to 1516, under Pope Leo V, Leonardo left Milan and was living in Belvedere, in the Vatican in Rome, where Raphael and Michelangelo were both active at the time. On the 19th of December, Leonardo was present in the meeting of King Francis I and Pope Leo V, which took place in Bologna. Leonardo was commissioned to make for Francis the mechanical lion which could walk forward, then opens his chest to reveal a cluster of lilies. In 1516 he entered the French Young service and was given the use of the manor house Clos Lucy, now a public museum near the king's residence at the Royal Chateau d'Amboise. It was here that he spent the last 3 years of his life. Accompanied by his friend and apprentice, Count Francesco Melzi, Leonardo died on May 2, 1519. He lived to be 67 years old, and he was not known to be married or to have any children. Even though his lineage ended with him, Da Vinci's work and impact on society is phenomenal, and our art, science, and welfare would not be the same without him.